And then we have life. Okay. Now I'm going to sip some tea before we keep going. If you guys haven't, you try, I think it's called Red Dragon Spiced Chai. It is, I don't know how to explain it, but it is slightly different than just regular spiced chai. It's got like it has an extra zip in the flavor, but it doesn't like make you gag, and it's not spicy like other types of cinnamon is. It's just, it's semi-sweet on its own. Anyway. As the title suggests, this is the one and only official Star Wars stream on this channel. Now there have been other streams that were Star Wars focused in the past, but this one I guarantee you is going to be 100% Star Wars. We're only going to get off topic a few times here. Originally, I had planned on doing a meme review, or like just looking at other people's May the 4th posts for the day. Wow, that took me a while. Brain buffering. However, I thought I might do that Friday for Revenge of the 5th, or just leave the meme review to other people, the other actual meme review channels. Because I do not want to become a meme review on this channel. So, I know I promised some art, because I am an art channel by focus, but I thought, just for fun, and because it's Star Wars Day, we will be ranking my personal favorite Star Wars films. Well, the sensitivity on this thing is wild. Hang on. There we go. Excuse me. First time working with this setup. So, without further ado, controversy inbound, let's rank some Star Wars films. Right off the bat, I would like to preface, I did add a haven't seen it there because there are 2 Star Wars films I haven't seen. I have not seen Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I think is that what it's called? Rise of Skywalker? I don't know. I haven't seen it because I didn't like The Force Awakens, so I knew I probably wasn't going to like these ones. If everyone starts screaming at me and says, you gotta watch it, they're actually really good if you just ignore the previous movie, I'll say, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. They're on Disney Plus. It's not going to be that much of an inconvenience to me. All I'd be wasting is time, and who knows, maybe something in that movie will inspire me in another way. Alright, also, I don't know if you can see it here, but my ranking goes as follows. Peak cinema, pure nostalgia, a good movie, pandering, and, of course, haven't seen. So with these 2 out of the way, let's get started. Alright, let's start with the one here. I think this is Attack of the Clones? Yeah. Star Wars 2, Attack of the Clones. Everyone makes fun of this freaking movie for its air quote cringe dialogue and CGI that did not age well. But to ye I say, you right, but I don't care. I have so much freaking fun watching this movie. Besides, Django's in it. So it can't be all bad. Yet, I will admit, while watching this film, I do feel like a kid again every time I see and hear the intro and then start watching the film. You know, like watching it from childhood, basically. So this movie and a few others on this list, just every time I watch it, it's just a damn good time. So I'm going to put Attack of the Clones in pure nostalgia. Is it peak cinema? No. No, it is definitely not. Is it a good movie by itself? I would think it would be, but I have the nostalgia glasses on, and they do cloud your vision. So, what's next? Oh, this one might be hard for me to pick, and might be a little controversial, air quote. Star Wars 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, when people are usually ranking Star Wars movies, they always put this one at peak cinema, saying it's the best Star Wars movie ever. And my question is, why? I mean, I agree with you, but why? Why is this movie so good as compared to the other three and the rest of the 6 trilogy plus 2 extras? Not including the sequels because not canon. Thank you, Dave Filoni. Now, I completely agree. The Hoth system, that is an amazing fight with the AT-AT walkers. It's so iconic seeing them coming towards the rebel base. We get to see more of Darth Vader. And it's just Darth Vader, of course, being one of my favorite characters. It's just great to see him on screen, especially when we hear him spouting dad jokes like no tomorrow. Like, people thought that line in Rogue One was out of character. It was like, what? Darth Vader's making a dad joke? What? It was like, did you see Empire Strikes Back? That's literally all he does, is dad jokes to himself. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. Apology accepted, Captain Nida. Like, come on. Dad jokes all around. And then this is also the movie where we meet Yoda, Cloud City. It had an ending that George Lucas said he was worried about because he didn't know how kids would react to a movie that kind of had a, air quote, bad ending where the good guys didn't win. Which, I know I already praise George Lucas enough as it is on this channel, but I'm going to say it again. George Lucas is a man of vision, determination, and pure fucking will. He not only made the first PG-13 rated movie in Indiana Jones: The Temple of Doom, fuck you, Gremlins, but he also recreated what it meant to use CGI in digital work. Because, like, movies that tried to use CGI beforehand just looked like garbage. George Lucas pushed boundaries with these movies. So, with Empire Strikes Back being a movie that, while anyone could enjoy, he was worried about how the kids would react. But I'm not sure if it was like a therapist buddy or if he asked a child therapist what, they would think about the movie. And he said, kids are actually very intelligent and they'll handle it. And it's just, yes, thank you, sir. And that is all to say that I think Empire Strikes Back is somewhere in between pure nostalgia and peak cinema. It did a lot for the movie industry, but watching the movie by itself, I'm not sure, like, without the nostalgia, how good of a movie would it be? Because I haven't asked anyone who hasn't seen Star Wars anything before, if they were to rank the movies, they would probably say Empire was pretty good too. So, I'm gonna put nothing different, nothing new, but I'm only putting it up at Peak Cinema because of what it did for the movie industry, what it did, storytelling wise, the reveal, the I am your father, the just the behind the scenes of it all. Mwah. Peak Cinema. And on another note, let's not even beat around the bush. Okay. This one is also going to be a rough place to put. Star Wars The Force Awakens. By itself, The Force Awakens by itself, not connected to anything, is a good movie. Why? Because J.J. Abrams took the script from the original fourth film and just slapped on new characters. That's all he did, while just keep saying, remember Star Wars? And it's just so disgusting what J.J. did. George Lucas himself was like, no. I'm just, thank you, sir. But by itself, it is a good movie. It's enjoyable. If you don't know anything about Star Wars, it's fine. But even if you don't know anything about Star Wars, watching the film, you feel like you should know something. Even though it's like a decades later kind of soft reboot of the series, which, let's be honest, it kind of was. They didn't make anything new. They just slapped a new fresh coat of paint on it. Because they knew fans were going to be overcritical, so they just looked at what worked and ran with it. They didn't try to push anything. They didn't try anything new, which they didn't risk anything, so they gained nothing. Now, I will admit, a lot of people do like this movie, and for a lot of children, this was their first Star Wars film, so we have to give it a point for that. Like, for example, me personally, the Michael Bay Transformer films are trash. Compared to the source material, they are hot garbage. However, I hold the first one in a special place in my heart because it was my first Transformers anything, and it introduced me to the franchise. So I can watch it as like, this is funny, silly fan fiction type thing, but not feel offended for the source material. Now, for the other later films, oh yeah, I was so pissed with The Last Night. Oh my god, that movie was just, ugh. But this is about Star Wars, not Transformers. Back to the game. Here we go. Force Awakens, by itself, a good movie, but even isolated, as an isolated incident, it is so it feels like it's missing something, even without the Star Wars nostalgia. Because I'll admit, when I first watched it in theaters, I thought it was great, but felt like just when I walked out of the theater, it's like, I've seen that movie before, right? And then I thought about it when I got home and went, oh, that's why. Because I was reading the plot, because I was going to make on my old channel, I was going to do like a review of the movie, and I think I did actually post that video. It's been deleted now. It's gone. But what I really said was, I just went through the plot points of The Force Awakens and said, that sound familiar? Yeah, because New Hope did it. I'm not saying anything new here. So, for The Force Awakens, I'm going to put it under pandering, because it's fine, but it's literally fan bait. That's all it is. It's just fan service with no substance. Don't say that. I was going to say, like Chinese food. You're going to eat it and it feels fine, but you're going to be hungry again. No, let's not say that. Don't say that. Alright, oh my god. This one's going to be hard. Star Wars, A New Hope. Now, as the first in the franchise, and the first of its kind, it changed history. But, however, aside from what it did for cinema, it is just the hero's journey, play by play. Which, not shitting on the hero's journey, it is a tried and true method of storytelling. But it's just not... I mean, the only thing that it did new was, like, the world building, which is fantastic by itself. But watching the film, I mean, anyone can say, this is a good movie. Even if you don't like Star Wars, you have to admit, it is pretty good. So, for A New Hope, I think I'm just going to put it under a good movie, because, yes, it changed history. Yes, it was... it's the first one, so we all hold it in high regard. But compared to everyone else on this list, I think A New Hope is kind of like where it sits in the franchise. It's a middle movie. It's good. It's how, we meet Luke Skywalker. It's the first step forward. But, it wasn't anything impactful compared to the rest of the films. History-wise... oh yeah. But standing next to all these, if I had to choose, let's be honest, if I had to choose between watching A New Hope and Attack of the Clones, I'm gonna watch Attack of the Clones, because I'm gonna be sitting there giggling like a little kid on Christmas, watching some of my favorite characters being sassy with each other, jumping out a window. No coffee today, people. Just Monster. Oh, whatever. Alright. Oof. Star Wars 1, A Phantom Menace. Now, are we talking the original theatrical release or the version that's on Disney Plus? Because the Disney Plus version, I think, is the extended edition, or it's the special edition, because it has extra scenes that were added, which honestly made the pod racing scene a lot more entertaining for me personally. But it does kind of feel like it was put in there, but it doesn't feel forced. Like a few shots were added where, like when they were on Coruscant, that was cool. Like how Anakin and Jar Jar went away. So I think I'm going to go with the Disney version, because it's the final product, the final version that we got. And it's probably the one George Lucas wanted to tell but had to cut due to time constraints, because if you watch this on Disney, this is actually kind of a long film. Anyway, The Phantom Menace. You know what? A lot of people give the prequel shit. Especially older fans. I think prequel hate has calmed down over the years because of... I think it's because the audience has matured with the films. And people look back on and go like, you know what? Maybe they weren't that bad. Because a lot of people say all the prequels are bad, and then, 3 years ago, everyone started saying, oh, Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie ever. And I'm just like, where was this when the movie first came out, y'all? Anyway, I felt like shit for liking the prequels, because that's just how, fandom culture was back then. If you didn't like what the vast majority did like, you were dumb and a piece of shit. I think it's still happening in some of the sequel fandom, where they think, oh, if you don't like The Last Jedi or whatever, you're a fake fan, or if you do like it, you're a fake fan. It's like, you're a fake fan for calling people fake fans. Fuck off. Shut up. So, I liked The Phantom Menace growing up. As a kid, I love Jar Jar. I think he's a funny character. I don't know why everyone... Okay, I do know why people think he's annoying, but I liked him as a kid because he acted like me. You know, I was a kid with undiagnosed ADHD, running around, just making noises and just screaming randomly. So any character like that, I felt attached to, but then felt personally attacked when people would say, oh, that character's so annoying. I'm just like, oh, well, yeah, I'm annoying, aren't I? But even though I know that's not what they were saying. So the memories attached to this film kind of hurt me. However, it is, I think, by itself, it is pretty good. Also, the reason why The Phantom Menace I'm going to put higher than The Force Awakens, because like they're both in a similar field. Like, the original Star Wars movies had come out, and people, the fans, heard that we're getting another Star Wars film, and they lost their minds, saying, oh my god, we're getting something new, something we haven't seen before. What is it gonna be? Oh, it's a backstory of Darth Vader? Oh, I wonder what it's gonna be, and blah de blah. So when it came out, some fans were disappointed, or particularly children were disappointed, because it had to do with a lot of politics that the original trilogy kind of ignored, but still had. People forget, the original trilogy still had politics involved. It just wasn't the main focus as it was with the prequels. Why? Because none of the characters in the original trilogy were politicians, maybe? And they were in this one? And besides, you can't have a war without politics. That's how war works. 95% of war is politics and bureaucrats arguing. So this just... I liked the sequel trilogy. Let's just get that out of the way. I liked this prequel. Oh my god. I liked the prequel trilogy. God. If I had ADHD, and ADHD always wins. Now, The Phantom Menace, I'm just beating around the bush because I'm just going to put it here. It is a good movie. Not quite pure nostalgia. Because, you know, as a kid, I liked watching it, but I did prefer Attack of the Clones for some reason. I don't know why Attack of the Clones just, like, spoke more to me than The Phantom Menace did. But by itself, it's just a good movie. Alright, let's wrap this up a little bit. Return of the Jedi. Okay. Return of the Jedi. I'm just going to say it. This is a damn good movie. A lot of people say the third installment is always the worst. But come on. Return of the Jedi. I watched it recently. The Blu-ray edition. That by itself is just a damn good movie. I'm not sure if it's peak cinema, though. And it's not quite pure nostalgia. So I think I should have added another tier here. Well, now that I'm thinking about it. It's like the action, the lightsaber battles definitely stepped up their game since the previous two movies. There was a lot more movement. It was a lot more action, more what they could do. The Sarlacc pit scene is amazing. We get to see the end of Jabba the Hutt, who I bet people watching this in the theaters were confused as hell when Return of the Jedi came out, because in the original theatrical release of A New Hope, Jabba the Hutt was like this dude in a fur coat. But then the special editions came out and it changed him to a slut, which honestly, the animation for that is very wonky. Very wonky. But I'm wondering, when did the special editions come out? Did they come out after the prequels or before? Because that's just a genuine question I have. When did the special editions for A New Hope come out. Because for the special editions, they just added more animation, like the dewbacks. They added more to the tavern scene. Or the cantina, it was called. They added more to the cantina scene, which, thank God. I don't know. Okay, here's another thing about old Star Wars fans that I don't know if the sentiment is still here. This is how old I've been in the Star Wars franchise. Old OG fans used to not only shit on the prequels for even bothering to exist, but they also hated the special editions and thought George Lucas was a man out of control, just adding shit on top of everything to, air quote, make it better for the special editions and whatnot. And to thee I say, shut up. Shut up. Okay? Listen. Listen. When these movies were first coming out, George Lucas was incredibly frustrated with the limitations of the industry at the time. And when Star Wars, the original films, came out, they weren't what he wanted, but it's the movie we got, and he hated it. He hated it. So then, when given the chance to start over and actually tell the story he wanted to tell, the movie he wanted us to see, with little to no limitations, he took it. And honestly, me too. I know people's like, it's like redrawing an old piece of art. Like, if Leonardo da Vinci had the chance to use digital art programs to repaint the Mona Lisa, I think he would. And he would do it better. But people would say, oh, it doesn't beat the original Mona Lisa. But Leonardo would say, hey, this is the version I wanted people to paint to begin with. Excuse my horrible Italian accent. But still. So, I'm not going to fault George Lucas for the special editions. I think I prefer the special editions over the originals, because as a fellow storyteller, I sympathize with George Lucas when it comes to remaking a piece of art based on your previous limitations. I redraw old art just to see how far I've come. And watching the originals and then watching the special editions, it just shows how far the movie-making industry had come in those years. And it's just like a time capsule. But with the original Star Wars, as I did see one of the originals, I saw the original to Return of the Jedi, and I can almost feel the frustrations of the limitations. I can almost feel it. And then I watched the special edition and went, oh, it was like a breath, it was like a sigh of relief, like, ah, yes. Much more fluid, much more better looking. It just looked like it was more polished, had more love in it. So, with these, we're assuming special editions and Blu-ray. So, Return of the Jedi, back to the original. I liked this movie. I love the Ewoks. I don't know why people hate it. I still don't know if it's Endor or the forest moon of Endor or the system Endor. I don't know. It's not the planet Hoth. It's in the Hoth system. But what is it? Anyway. So, Return of the Jedi. This is actually a hard call, because it's not pure nostalgia for me, although it kind of is. But it's more than just a good movie. But I don't think it's quite peak cinema. So I think, for now, I will have to put it at a good movie, but with the preface saying it definitely deserves a higher ranking than these two. Which I think I'll put them in a particular order. There we go. Okay, next movie. Rogue One. I will admit, I have mixed feelings about this movie. Because when it first came out, I didn't think I was going to watch it. So I thought, okay, what's this random Star Wars movie we're talking about? Oh, wait, Vader's in it? I might give it a try. But it's going to be like years before I even see this film. So what's it about? And then I watched like how it should have ended in someone's review of it. And I learned, oh, everyone dies. So, well, what's the point? So then when I was watching the film, I did not get invested in these characters because I knew they were going to die at the end. And then I was kind of just like, where's Vader? When's Vader going to pop up? Come on, when's Vader? Here we go. There's Vader. And now he's gone again. And I wasn't like paying attention to the film. Now, rewatching it, years later, rewatching it after I watched Rebels, this movie is fantastic. Because then we get Saw Gerrera, we get mentions of Project Warhammer, Project Stardust, we get, the Death Star plans, the handoff. That Rebels fight with Vader is just so freaking good. It's just, the movie itself is good. But, when you actually pay attention to the damn movie. But I think it's good to me because of Rebels. But that's like with anything Star Wars. They're good all together. Like, when we get to Revenge of the Sith, I'm going to talk about that. But even my brother, who, hadn't seen Rebels or any of the cartoons, liked Rogue One. He said it was his favorite Star Wars film. And I think it was because he read the comics and knew about the other characters. Or was actually paying attention. But I wasn't, I'll admit. So, Rogue One. After reconsideration, I'm going to rewatch it. Because I learned that one of the Agent Callus is actually there in the film, and he has a speaking role, and he talks to the main characters. And I'm like, oh, that was Alex? That was Alex? That was Agent Callus? What? I need to rewatch this film. But upon watching it twice, and seeing the ghost in there, this was a good movie. I'll say it is peak cinema, but low peak cinema. Because it's more than a good movie, and it's not just nostalgia. The characters in there are great. I haven't seen the Andor show. I'm on 2 episodes in, but I really do want to watch it. I'm going to get around to it, I promise. There should be, I tried to find a ranking system that had the shows involved too, but they didn't have Bad Batch and whatnot, so it's just, well, I'll see myself out. So we're just doing the movies. Alright, Revenge of the Sith. I remember when this movie first hit theaters. I didn't watch it in theaters, but we saw it at Walmart, bought it, brought it home, watched it that day. And I knew it was going to be sad. Because in my child brain, I knew Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. But for some reason, watching this film, I didn't put it together that this was going to be the movie where we see him turn into Vader. The Vader we knew. I don't know why I didn't put it together. Maybe it's because I was only God, how old was I? I was 7. Yeah, I was 7 when this movie came out, so I didn't put it together because I am a dunderhead. Actually, going back to Rogue One, I'm going to put it down as pure nostalgia because I liked this movie because I liked Rebels. All right, let's put it there. Anyway, back to Revenge of the Sith. This movie it's a good movie. If we get General Grievous, as a child, I loved General Grievous. It was oh, who's this guy? That's always coughing and is a robot, but not a robot because he's also a cyborg because he's got flesh in there? What is this guy? And then we see him and he's good. Yeah, this movie is good. It's sad by itself. But after watching Clone Wars to completion all the way to season 7, all the way to season 6, we should say, this movie is 1,000 times more tragic because then we know all the Jedi personally that are getting gunned down. And then we know later it's inhibitor chips and the clones can't help themselves. So that just adds another layer of sadness. But then watching this in tandem with season 7, it adds a whole other layer to it, and it's just a cake of sad, and I shall eat it. How many times are we going to be forced to watch Order 66? This fucking movie gave me trauma of a fucking number, okay? I ordered a veggie pizza one time, and my order was 66. I couldn't eat it. It's like, all I wanted was to order a veggie pizza, and I ended up killing the Jedi. What the hell? And, oh my god, the lightsaber fight in this film, the final lightsaber duel, puts this movie all the way up to peak cinema, higher than Empire Strikes Back. This, I know, not saying anything new, everyone says this is the best Star Wars film ever, because it fucking is. It is a damn good movie, through and through, every which way you look at it. If you're new to the franchise, if you're just fans of the film, or if you're diehard fans like me that consume Star Wars like air. It is peak cinema. The best of the bunch. And I hate to end at this note, the Solo film. I enjoyed watching it. But for some reason, while watching it, it felt like I was expecting something more. Like it was going to add to Han Solo's character. But all it did was reinforce what we already know. Like when Lando says, "Would you break my ship?" It's, "Hey, I want it from you fair and square." Which he didn't. He just stopped Lando from cheating and stole his card. My computer's getting a little warm. And then we knew Han and Chewbacca had to meet and that they worked together. And then they piloted together and that they had to do the Kessel Run in less than whatever parsecs. I don't remember what it was. Less than 13. Or whatever. Sorry, my phone was overheating in my pocket. I had a brick. So it felt like... I know Woody Harrelson was in it. It did add a little extra lore to the Falcon. Because, like, when... in Empire Strikes Back, when C-3PO said that, "I don't know where your ship learned to communicate. It has the most interesting dialect I've ever seen." Well, that's because it's a droid that wanted freedom for other droids. So her consciousness was implanted into the ship to save her life. And I don't know what the fuck it was between her and Lando. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be, so I'm just watching it like, are they gonna kiss? Or is he just attached to her like Anakin is to R2-D2? What is this? But then again, it felt like an eye roll movie. Like, oh, of course, here it is. And there it is. Okay. It's like if someone told you a story, beat for beat about what was going to happen, and then you watch a recording of it happening, and then you're like, here it is. Oh, and here comes the kid, and oh, yes, here comes that. So the movie, it's fine, but I have to say, it felt like pandering. It didn't add or take away to Solo's character, except maybe a little bit of backstory that he used to be ex-Imperial, which didn't add any extra nuance to him. At least I don't think it did. But it did reintroduce Darth Maul to the cinematic universe. I don't know who the director was for this film, but that was pretty ballsy. But then again, watching Solo, I don't think I watched Clone Wars at that time, so I don't know which one came out first. Because I know Filoni reintroduced Darth Maul as being alive and whatnot. So if Solo came out after Clone Wars, which it probably did. So that's that. Okay. Now that we have all the movies up here, let's re-examine everything. Revenge of the Sith being peak cinema. Absolutely. It's more than nostalgia, and it's more than a good movie. It is just the best. The music that plays during Obi-Wan and Anakin's duel is just... John Williams is a madman. Empire Strikes Back. Now that I'm looking at it, actually, it might not quite be peak cinema. Because this is a movie I can, just put on in the background and then not watch it. But for, other Star Wars films, I kind of, have to just sit there and watch it and vibrate in my seat. So I think I might move Empire Strikes Back down to a good movie. But it's a high-ranking good movie. And I might move Phantom Menace up to pure nostalgia. Because it's more than a good film. It does have its nostalgia, for me at least, with the Gungan fight and the not the Citadel, but with the Anakin's little fight. Now this is pod racing. I don't know why people think he's so annoying. He's cute. And of course, Duel of Fates, everyone's favorite. Mwah. John Williams is a madman. Now, for just a good movie, because they kind of have to be put here by default, we have the original trilogy. Which I honestly wasn't expecting. Because I watched these two movies recently. I haven't watched the original recently. I think, actually, I might move one of these back up to peak cinema. But I'm not sure which one it is. And I haven't seen these two. And these two are just pandering. So, I'm going to move that up to peak nostalgia. Because I don't hate Rogue One. It's a bridge movie. And it does add a little bit. It definitely makes the beginning scene in A New Hope a lot more hilarious, because the literal rebels are being mowed down by Vader, passing off the plans through the doors to get to Leia's ship, and her ship flies off, and Vader immediately starts chasing her, and she says, "How dare you attack my ship? We're on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan." He's like, "What the? You weren't on any mercy mission. I know you're part of the Rebel Alliance." It was like, Leia had some balls to say that to Vader's face. Like, what? I really hope that wasn't playing in the background. Let's just mute that real quick. Hold up. Sorry. I actually might move the original up to peak cinema. Like, I enjoy Empire Strikes Back, but watching it in tandem with everyone else, I can just, I can just have it in the background. So yeah, I think, this is my... God, go away, stupid ad. This is my Star Wars ranking tier. Yeah, no one come at me for this. Am I gonna do it? No, I'll do that later. Get rid of that. Alright. Now that we've got that down, let's move on to something completely different. Alright, I'm gonna bring back the startup page because I have to fix. Okay, save, load, chat, PNG. Here we go. Gotta bring out a different PNG. I need to change my hotkeys. 0, 1, 1. Because originally I had the hotkeys where 7. It was letters and whatnot, and they kept activating because of... Let me move the sensitivity down. They kept activating because of my hotkeys. And here we go. Okay. Oh, that is works. Okay. Alright, am I gonna save this thing? No, let's not. Well, I said we were gonna do that. No, let's not do that. Just get rid of some tabs. Let's see. Yes, okay. Now, a little special piece I've been working on is... I don't know where this idea came from, but I'm going to try to explain it as best as possible. For some reason, I was suddenly possessed. And that's the phrase I'm going to go with. Possessed with the idea of taking Star Trek clips and reworking it with Star Wars. I don't know why, or I don't even remember where this came from, but I saw this scene in particular on YouTube, and I thought I have to draw it with the 501st. So, I have taken the scene, the Who Started the Fight scene from the iconic Star Trek episode Trouble with Tribbles. It is the best Star Trek episode ever. Y'all can fight me on this. It's the best episode. It's funny. It's clever. It's just good shit. So, I am now redrawing that entire conversation in part 1s and part 2s. But with Star Wars. Now, bear with me. This is gonna get interesting. I'm on this layer, okay. Because I have said 1,000 times prior, I am so freaking envious, mind you, not jealous, that's not the right word, envious of people who can draw cartoon characters in their own style, or at least match the show style. Just how do you do that? But the light is coming from here. Yeah. Also, bear with me because I don't know how to draw bald people. I don't know why I chose these particular characters to draw. For this time around. But I did. And here we are. I'm just going to claim it's for practice. Man, that actually hurt. Talking that long for like 50 minutes straight hurt my throat a little bit. Good stuff. Notice my new PNG I redrew last night? I like it a lot more than the original. Pardon. I think I'll go with that. So I have the references for these dies. On my tab here. So you can't see them, but they are here. Okay, so Anakin doesn't have... Alright. I think I'm drawing them in their season 1 through 3 designs. Because I'm on the wrong layer. Because 5s and Echo aren't there. Also, I thought I had the fun idea of drawing the 501st with some Top Gear quotes. I don't know what, just the thought of like some of Grand Tour or like other iconic bits from Top Gear, because I love Top Gear. Just redrawing these idiots with those idiots is just a good idea. And that's just the excuse I'm gonna go with. It's just fun, good... It's just a good idea to draw these idiots with that idiot. Or to draw these idiots as these idiots. Now, I did ask my sister for some advice on which characters should be who, or like in this comic, because she's more of a 501st fan than I am. 104th for life. And earlier I did practice by drawing Rex, but I usually draw from the 3/4 view. And I tried to draw him from the side, so I can get like how the nose and the ears line up, which I think I'm still struggling with, which I struggle with regular people regardless, but I usually hide all of that with hair. But for balds, is what I'm just gonna call them. It's a lot more complicated. Now we have Rex, Jesse, Hardcase, and I think Kits, but I'm not sure. But he doesn't have a speaking role. Alright, I'm going to fix up Rex's armor here, and then gonna do the simple and just copy paste him down the line, and then just change expressions and armor coloring and eyelashes. Because in my headcanon, while all clones may share the same face, they all have unique eyelashes. Okay, so shoulder, and he's got this thing on top. I don't know what it's called. The ARC Trooper thingamajig. And since it's season 1, it looks different from all these other photos. Same with his helmet, which does not feature in this episode. I mean, in this strip. Thank God. Comes down to about here. Before it comes down around to here. And it is like, it's semi-canon. Clone armor makes the clones look extra bulky. Because then if you see them without their armor on, they just look so tiny. And I'm making Rex extra short here as a joke. Because, what my sister pointed out when she was rewatching the show, that every chance they get, the camera is always angled to where Rex looks shorter than everyone else. So that's like I've adopted that headcanon, that Rex is actually shorter than an average clone. So that's his base so far, with his arms behind his back. Actually, hold on real quick. I'm going to fix something. There we go. Don't know why I did that. All right. Better? Okay. There, I had the chat pop out on the side so I could look at everything else. But with the conversation part over, I think we can get away with this. So, I'm going to pull a lazy. Copy, paste, move over here. Select tool here. Copy, paste. I think Hardcase is a little shorter too, because I don't know why. I got the impression watching the Imbara arc that Fives was taller than Hardcase. This doesn't quite look like a lineup, though. Well, that's what it is. It needs to move back some. There we go. Just need to erase. So let's see. This bit. Erase this bit. There we go. And then we merge these down. And then another extra trick. We copy, paste, we move these down, have them at a slightly lower opacity, and then we erase. And now we change facial expressions. My hard case is stone cold. Got more square bit to him. Missy looks a little more worried than Rex. But not quite giving something away. There we go. And let's give, since this is based on the original scene, after they got in a fight with the Klingons, Jesse's gonna have like a kind of a swollen cheek and maybe a bruised lip. God, drawing like 3 bald people all at once is gonna kill me. Alright, let's do, for the love of God, let's give him some hair. There we go. Alright, now I can add on Rex's little shoulder thing. Because Hardcase and Jesse both don't have it. As of yet. Alright, it comes up like... goes across, comes up slightly. Or something. Did Scotty have a bruise on him? Because he started the fight. I don't think I'll finish it this stream, but because there's a lot of work to be done. But if I can at least get, like, the sketch cleaned up, that way I can, like, just blaze through the line art, the dialogue, and the coloring. Oh, okay. First frame is done. Sort of. Now this is fun because in this scene, Kirk is saying, I want to know who started it. I'm waiting. He says, Freeman. Who started the fight? He just stone cold says, I don't know, sir. So I thought, man, who could this clone be that is here in Freeman's position? Because Freeman said it with a straight face. He said, I don't know, sir. And it is canon that these clones cannot lie. I mean, it's just canon at this point. It's not even headcanon. It's not fan theory. The clones cannot lie. But the only clone we canonically know that lied through his teeth and made quite a convincing argument, while albeit it's still a little shaky, was Hardcase. So my personal headcanon is that Hardcase, due to his condition, is the only clone that can lie successfully. And Hardcase is always itching for a fight, but my sister advised me that he probably wouldn't be the one to start the fight, but he would be the one to, like, go, oh yeah! Okay, their nose, they got a broad nose, it doesn't come up. But it's not that wide. I don't know how to draw noses, so forgive me while I try to figure this out. Man, I can draw them from the side angle all the live long day. Let's fish this up. They look like they draw rabbit noses. I finally figured out how to draw people from the side view, but the front view is still giving me a lot of trouble, especially in the nose department. Alright, let's check. I have a picture of Hardcase from the front angle. Wait, is Hardcase the Gen 1? Okay, the way they're drawn here. Okay, so I know they do have a broad nose, so it does move out slightly. The way they've drawn it is just not the way I draw noses. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Now here I removed his nose because it's a more comedic moment. No, that just looks like a dick. Ugh, how do you draw noses? This is a learning experience for all of us. I can't just forego the nose because I just killed myself drawing Anakin's nose in every other frame here. Same with their... No, there's not like a... Hello, stomach. I think I'll just draw it like that for now. Alright, and clone armor is not Mando armor, so it's gonna... It doesn't have like a middle bit here. But it does give him more pectorals. So assuming their ribs are about here. Comes up. I gotta figure out a way. I'll draw their armor fan art wise. Like, some people draw the armor and it makes them look bulky as hell, like wide. And I think that's funny. Okay, and Hard Jace is gonna be more muscular because he has that giant ass weapon. And his hands are behind his back. But with the armor being the way it is, he can't quite have his arms down. And I know his neck is too long. I will fix it in a second. There we go. And I drew Anakin off screen because I didn't know how I was going to frickin' draw the clones, but I figured I could try and figure something out for Anakin. And even then, he doesn't look consistent in every frame. And in my sketch, I had his hair flips going the wrong way. So, that was a learning experience. And their armor doesn't look like it straps on like a knight's armor. You know, like with buckles everywhere and whatnot. And then his armor's got like this geometric shape all the way down, which I will add the details later. This is just a basic sketch. the back of their armor look like? For heaven's sakes, it's not like they're not back plates, right? Hold on. What does the back of their head and armor look like? Ah, hard case. Sorry, I'm just looking at references for a hard case, and it's just, ugh. He left us way too soon. I guess there's that for the toys. Kind of wish they gave us a full turnaround. Like there was a model. Oh, wait, there's the back. Of course it's the GIF where it says live to fight another day. God dang it. I didn't know that was a GIF. I just wanted to see the back of his armor so I had to draw it. Damn it. Now I'm sad. Live to fight another day, boys. Alright, so he's not like this Lego thing in the back. I don't know what the hell this is. I think one of the dogs wants it. Hey, Tab, can you get that? I don't know if she heard me. You know, I'm gonna go see what that is. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Dog needed to go out. I got this weird Lego charging plug-in that's in their back. I'm just, what is this? There's a GIF here that I wish I could show you guys. Like, what is Hardcase doing? That madman. You know what? Yeah, just for a second. Look at this right here. What is this boy doing? He takes off his helmet and he shakes his head like he's loosening his curls. Like, what are you doing, Hardcase? You're bald! What are you doing? It's not even like Fives would do that because he has actual hair. And he doesn't have long hair like Hunter does. But he's just like... This is why I love Hardcase. Look at this... Look at this idiot. He's shaking his hair like he's just... Oh, yeah. Loosening his luscious locks from his helmet. It's just like, bro, what? What locks? Oh my goodness. Sorry, I saw that. I just had to show y'all. Like, what is going on here? Alright, well, whatever. The back of their armor looks weird, and I will draw it later. How do you draw the back of a bald person's head? It's not... It's like trying to feel the back of my head doesn't work. It's like the cranium is here. And I guess there is that much of a difference. And then with your ear lining up with your jaw and like the back of your head. Like I'm trying to feel on my own head. So I guess this would work. What lashes? Oh, I didn't give him lashes. Just give him this kind of eyes, and then I'll come back and do his lashes later. Actually, Rex's character, the word Filoni used for him was stable, so I think I might square off his eyes a little bit more and just make the lashes more blocky. There we go. But for Hardcase, since he's always so up and energized and energetic and more childlike, I'm going to give him more triangular, actually, kind of maybe more rounded eyes. Well, Jesse's is more angular, because he's usually the first one to start a fight. I mean, you saw him with Wrecker, right? And that wasn't just ARC Trooper Jesse. That was just Jesse. Like, he was ready to start a fight because Crosshair flicked a toothpick at him. Like, what? Bruh, calm down. I think I also give him more up-pointed lashes. But not quite as luscious as Fives. My headcanon is Fives, despite all the clones basically sharing the same face, that Fives is pretty boy. Because we also got the back of Jesse right here. Alright, now this is something that's just, okay. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. Even if I don't quite understand that opinion. Why is everyone in this hecking fandom so thirsty over Jesse? Now, I'll admit, it's been a hot minute since I've seen, since I rewatched the entire show. I just rewatched one arc. But what is the attraction of Jesse as opposed to all the other clones? Like, why have people chosen Jesse over, I don't know, Rex? Even though I'm not the biggest Rex fan, but I'll admit he's pretty. More of a wolf gal myself. Can someone explain to me the Jesse appeal? Not shitting on it, just confused. Because I don't remember Jesse's personality all that much besides fight and detective. Which I used to make fun of Jesse for that because ha ha funny. But at the same time, I get it. It's like everyone else, like Kix and Hardcase, were confused by what he meant. It's like, look, they're domesticated. They're like, so? It's like, where there's a farm, there's usually a farmer. Because Jesse would know about that, but the rest of the clones wouldn't because they were only trained in battle situations, not everyday regular stuff. It's pretty funny, actually. Man, now that I'm thinking about that ad that was playing, I really hope on that tier maker website, I really hope there wasn't music blasting in the background, because if so, oh my god, I sincerely apologize. Really hope that isn't the case, though. How do you draw that? How do people draw the scared thing? Like, do they just take the smudge tool and... I guess. I don't. Oh, he's sweating. He's stressing. This is Jesse. I know you. You started it, didn't you? No, sir, I didn't. Well, who did? I don't know, sir. I don't know, sir. Man, I should have kept the nose situation. How'd I draw it? Okay, doon, da doon, da doon, toon, toon. Okay. Because that's how you draw. You make sound effects. Doon, to doon, doon, doon. But I'm going to make his eyes slightly bigger and higher. His eye is significantly smaller than the other one. Alright, his eye's slightly more closed because of black eye. Also, I think his mouth is too high up. There we go. And Jesse's got the tattoo down the side, so we'll address that later. Well, it's not to scale. I'll figure it out later. Well, we got this going so far. I also, oh my god, this one's gonna be so hard to draw. I also had the idea, alright, I already said that, drawing them with Top Gear scenes because, oh goodness. Especially the scene, like, I'm gonna take the bit where they're trying to figure out the Umbara tech, and Hardcase is trying to figure out how to fly it, and it's like Jesse or something is standing behind him saying, Hardcase, there's nothing to be gained by, and then Hardcase, like, slams into either the barracks or whatever, or slams into one of their tanks. So you just go, Hardcase, you idiot! You reversed into the whatever name of the tank it is. It's like that one bit in Top Gear. It's like, Hammond, you idiot! You reversed into the sports lorry! I don't know why that would be so funny. Also, I had the idea where, like, Anakin would be welding something. And then off screen it would, like, cut to someone else and it'd say, oh, damn and blast! What? I've welded myself to the machine. Like that scene in one of the... I don't know what, I think they were making a hover van, and Clarkson was trying to sew the lining, but he accidentally sewn his jacket down. He's like, oh, damn and blast! What? Oh, I've sewn myself to the machine. Just taking bits from Top Gear and giving it to Star Wars just seems like a great idea to me. Especially since we were robbed, okay? We were robbed of a pod racing scene in Clone Wars. Like, Anakin just showing off his skills, but then Ahsoka has to pilot it, and then, you know, basically what we got with... I almost called it Tekio Drift, but that's not the name of the episode. With the racing episode in Bad Batch, whatever that episode was called, and there the puppy goes. Whatever that episode was, if we got that but with Clone Wars, like if Anakin built this pod racer, it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be so great, cause then I'll pilot it, and then for some reason Ahsoka has to pilot it, has to do the race. And she's really nervous about it. Like, either they say, oh, the contestant can't be the engineer, or, like, Anakin gets injured or something, and Ahsoka has to pilot it, and it would be like a trust thing. Anyway, it just would have been fun. It would have been so much fun, but we were robbed of a pod racing episode in Clone Wars, so I think Filoni gave it to us in Bad Batch, which I did like that episode. I thought it was just good fun, and we got Ben Schwartz playing another blue character, okay? What more could you want? Ain't exactly coffee, but it's still caffeine. As I almost choked on it. What the fuck? I'm good. I'm good. If anyone can think of any other Top Gear clips that I can illustrate as Star Wars and what characters, let me know. Okay, that didn't ruin everything. Okay, I'm gonna redraw. Okay, what is this pose? Let's figure this out. You're all quarantined. You're all confined to quarters till I find out who started it. Dismissed. This has a back, right? And it has shoulder pads. And he's got on this hand just a glove. Okay. I thought it was going to be a sneeze, turned out to be a burp. That is a completely different bodily function. What the hell? This is bad anatomy, but I don't care. Alright, season 1, Anakin has... Okay, the whole shebang. Cloak. Actually, no ass. Cloak down the back. Hair goes like this. Just bullshitting my way through fan art because it is hard. There we go. There it is. At least I can say confidently that I have gotten better at drawing side views mouth-wise. Because I used to just do the anime thing where it was nose, this, and then mouth. But since working on Dreamwalkers, like trying to get my comic up, my graphic novel up and running, I've changed tactics. Now, for any of you, those of you that remember this episode, you know that they were they fought with the Klingons, and it was a big deal. because the Klingons had an uneasy, like, peace treaty because this was neutral territory that they both had a claim to. What are his eyebrows? More pointy. Okay. I think his nose is off. I don't know if that's right at all. And then I totally forgot what I was talking about and just remembered. So, they started a fight with the Klingons. And I still, while working on this comic, haven't figured out who they were fighting or what the big insult was that caused Rex to start the fight. I still haven't figured that out. So, if any of y'all watching now or later have any ideas, let me know, because I'm still lost in that department. I think I'll do that. I knew he's got an upturned nose, but here it just looks wrong when I draw it. Oh, that's better. His forehead was all wrong. That's why. Yo.
Hey, I've made something.
What is it?
It was supposed to be cookie dough, and then I kind of got lost in myself and made that. Tastes
Smells
good,
like
though.
chocolate. I kind of wish... It looks like gingerbread.
It does.
And I wish it was gingerbread. When I smell it...
It doesn't taste like it.
It smells like chocolate coffee.
I mean, it tastes good, but it's just... I don't know what happened.
We should try and bake it.
No, there's no eggs or anything in it.
So?
So it wouldn't do anything.
It would turn into a graham cracker.
You want a spoon?
I have a spoon.
Oh, well, there you go. You can have that. I mean, it tastes good. I don't know.
Okay, Tab, I'm still lost. Who should they fight here and what is the main insult?
can't believe I failed at making cookie dough. I don't know what happened.
Okay, before you leave, how do you... What do you think about them their looks so far?
Yeah.
See, this is... I haven't drawn in their tattoos yet, because I'll do that in the coloring phase.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hard Case,
Yeah.
the Stone Cold Liar.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jesse, and I gave him like a swollen eye and like a busted lip,
I mean,
because...
they were just in a fight.
Yeah, Chekhov was worse for wear. I think this is my favorite. It's like, I don't know, sir. This will be fun to color, too.
Yeah.
It's Jesse. I know you. You started it, didn't you? No, sir, I didn't. Well, who did? I don't know, sir. I don't know, sir. Okay, I didn't realize this because I forgot. The back of Clone Trooper armor has like this stupid Lego plug-in type wall charger.
It's for their jetpacks.
Oh! I forgot about the
Yeah, it plugs in for their jetpacks.
I forgot about the jetpacks.
Yeah, because that's why Cody doesn't have that, because he usually has a jetpack on. I think it's Cody.
Alright, I'm gonna copy
But yeah,
lasso tool. I'm going to copy this.
I'm just so disappointed in myself. I failed at cookie dough. But it tastes good, so it's not a total failure, I guess.
And then I'll draw them full-bodied here.
Anyway, I'm gonna go eat my failure.
That was my sister, if you couldn't tell. The one that's more of a 501st fan than I am. Not that I hate the 501st, it's just I'm more interested in the 104th. I want more of the wolf pack. And I'm a little more than disappointed that we haven't gotten any more. Do they have like little elbow pads? They don't. Okay, it's just... Well, they do, kinda, sorta. Is it just me? These clones, damn snatched waists. If you ask me, just yowza.
There's a small amount left if you want some more.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pick it up and plop it on there. There you go.
What do you think of Rex's height?
I love it.
Did someone just pull up the driveway?
No.
Okay. Well, same thing happened yesterday. Like, someone pulled up the it sounded like someone pulled up the driveway, but no, they just drove by, and it was really loud.
Yeah, there's been a lot of farmers driving by.
Well, yeah, it's spring.
So every time I hear that, yeah.
I need to watch MASH. How dare you wear that hat and uniform? It's spring, sir! So his thingies, these, whatever these are, the skirt, and it goes down just to his knees. I swear, I can draw people. It's just when I'm trying to draw specific people based on references, I forget how to do basic anatomy. Then I go straight to just trying to draw them while forgetting about how bodies work and so on and so forth. Alrighty. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas on on who they were fighting and what it was about, let me know your suggestions. Because I'm trying to figure out what would be the Star Trek equivalent, the Star Wars equivalent to a Klingon that has shaky relations with the Federation. I mean, maybe a Mandalorian, but what would the Mandalorians have against Anakin? Nothing. Because the reason why they would say something about Anakin is because they call him a tin-plated, overbearing, swaggering dictator with delusions of godhood. And instead, because I looked up what a Denebian slime devil is, and it's like one thing in Star Trek that is only talked about, never makes an official appearance, except maybe like twice, and it's like this tiny little thing. So I was just like, what is a Star Wars equivalent of a Denebian slime devil? So I just called him Nalhutta dragon snake, because it's a slimy creature that lives in the swamp and is just like a mindless predator. And after they said all that, that's when you hit him. No, sir. No? No. You told us to avoid trouble. And I didn't see that it was worth fighting about. After all, we're big enough to take a few insults. Aren't we? What was it they said that started the fight? And then the original line is, they called the Enterprise a garbage scow. Sir. So I'm wondering, what would they say that only Rex would care about? So that's when you hit him. Yes, sir. You hit the Klingon when he insulted the Enterprise, but not when he... Sir, this was a matter of pride. Which is gonna be here, but I don't know what was said that pissed off Rex so much that wouldn't like offend Anakin as much. Like, someone insulting Anakin, yeah, that would get hard. That would get Jesse's heckles up. And it wouldn't, because at this point, Kirk doesn't hate the Klingons. He hates them later after a few of them killed his son in Genesis. That's when he hates the Klingons. So it can't be like the Zygerians, because Anakin already hates those people and wouldn't mind if they started a fight, and they're not on shaky relations with the Republic, so starting a fight wouldn't really like cause much trouble with them. And it's not the Pikes, because the pikes are more business related. And they're independent. So maybe it could be the pikes. Because they've got delusions of grandeur, and they're the tin-plated, overbearing, swaggering dictators with delusions of godhood. But honestly, the Pikes are kind of like the Star Trek Ferengi. Purely based on selling and business and lying and cheating and gambling. That's the Pikes. Or what would be the Ferengi. It wouldn't be the Hutts. But maybe they could, start a fight with some bounty hunters, maybe? And it wouldn't be the Dugs. Because at that point, well, maybe the Dugs with the Zillow Beast situation. Saying that out loud, having them start a fight with the Dugs probably might make more sense. Because Anakin is a former slave. So they would be like, this guy. And with the Zillow Beast, from what I remember, it's been I only saw that episode once because it was really hard for me to watch. It's really hard for me to watch a Godzilla character get gunned down mercilessly and transported from their home planet. Which is why that Bad Batch episode was kick ass. So, it might be the Dugs that they started the fight with, because the 501st was there. But when was that Zillow Beast episode? Hold up. That was season 2. So, yeah, that was their season 2 designs. Yeah, someone's already drawn Godzilla fan art for this kid. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I love these guys. And they're still in their Gen 1 armor, so it would make sense. Okay, so yeah, it would be the Dugs, right? Are they called the Dugs? Okay. Star Wars, how do you spell Sebulba? Sebula. Okay. Is a Dug. Oh, a D-U-G. Okay. Oh? Dug. British. English. Noun. The nipple, teat, udder, or breast of a female mammal. A human breast, especially when old and withered. What? George Lucas, explain, please. George, explain. George. Yeah, like... What? It's a what? Excuse? Okay? Not what I was expecting when looking up stupid references on a species I don't even like for a comic that was just a fleeting idea. What the hell? Okay, let's just ignore that. But also not. Let's not ignore that. Because this is actually fantastically funny. Oh, I'm gonna have a field day. What? Oh my god. George Lucas really called him a tit. But then again, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I'll fix their legs later. At this point, I don't care. There we go. I'll fix that later. The Dougs. They, is this off the record? No, this is not off the record. Well, General, they called you a tin-plated, overbearing, swattering dictator with delusions of godhood. Is that all? No, sir, they also compared you to a null-headed dragon snake. I see. And then they said you're, I get the picture, Rex. They called my plan of attack childish and something like they'd have to insult Rex's tactics because he's very proud of that. He's very proud of his tactics and whatnot and like his battle plans. So maybe that shit. Man, Towels, I don't know what you did to this cookie dough to make it turn out this way. But I like it. It's like brownie batter, but thicker. I think there's some chocolate in here, like some instant coffee. It tastes like there's instant coffee in here. Which I don't mind. I don't hate instant coffee, it's just I don't prefer it. So okay, yeah, I figured it out. They fight the Dougs. This is the Zillow Beast episode. Because Rex, is he the captain who's proud of his ship? No, he's more proud of his brothers than anything. But I think it would just be funny if they insulted his battle tactics. Or something like that. And I got that stupid scene from Top Gear running through my head. It's Hammond, there's nothing to be gained by... Hammond, you idiot! You reversed into the sports lorry! Is it 2 o'clock already? Jeez. Well, I got some of the baseline art done on page 1. I might continue this tomorrow if I'm not busy. Like, I know my schedule says most Fridays. And usually at 12 because on Friday I clean house. And Friday evening we gotta be somewhere this time if plans follow through. So if I don't stream tomorrow, it's because I was busy with other things. But even if I'm late for the 12 o'clock stream, I'll try to stream at least a little bit anyway. Just so I can get this done. Because Thursday is usually when I catch up on my other comic. But then I remembered May the 4th is today. I was hoping it was on a Friday. So I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but alas, 'twas not to be. Wait, how does his... Down and then in. Okay. Down, then in. I also gotta be mindful of, like, where the dialogue is gonna be. Because usually I make the lettering the same color as the character's eyes, but since everyone here's kind of got like a similar eye color, like, hold on, actually. Like, the clone's got brown eyes. Anakin has, what is he, blue, actually? Hold up. Yeah, he's got blue eyes, so maybe I could make the speech bubble a certain color. But other than that, I don't think I'll change the color of the dialogue. I'll just keep the lines black. Why do you keep doing that? I did, sir. You did? Rex? What caused this, Rex? They insulted us, sir. Must have been some insults. Aye, it was. You threw the first punch. Jesse wanted to, sir, but I held him back. You helped. Let's see. Why would Jesse want to start a fight? Well, the Dugs, sir, they, Is this off the record? No, this is not off the record. I'm not sure what they insult still. Like, I keep saying it's probably his tactics, but... I'm on the wrong layer! Oh no! Oh well. Oh no! Anyway. You know, I might end the stream soon. I'm getting burnt out on this piece. And I got other things to do. So. Thank you all so much for watching. Listen to my literal hour rant about the movie rankings, not including the shows. An analogy to Transformers earlier. And on my DeviantArt, I had a poll going up what a Star Wars Star Trek crossover would be called. And my joke name was like calling it Star, but then mixing the two logos. Another one I thought of was like Trek Wars, which actually sounds more like a name. Then I also gave the option, was like, oh, that's impossible. Or other. So far, let me check the numbers. So far, the poll. My goodness, I'm away for a few seconds. So far, we only have 4 votes on the poll. And we got 50% for Star, 25% for Trek Wars, and then 25% for Impossible. Okay. That's a hoot. Anyway. Hopefully that ad wasn't playing on the website. I didn't hear anything through my headphones, but then again, I wasn't wearing them. So if that was the case, I apologize. If not, great. I may or may not stream tomorrow for Revenge of the Fifth, but if I do, it would be a continuation of this piece. So we will save and get back to it. Thank you all for watching, and we will return to our regularly scheduled programming Monday, where, well, I don't know what we're doing next Monday, but it'll be more drawing on my original stories. So, we will be doing that. Bye-bye. Alright. I'm just gonna close out all these references. So I actually don't have to draw the dogs.